Hi, hey, we're back. We're going to do a couple of these other widgets that we use for our beginning CAD class. They're taken right out of our textbook again. So refer to your textbook if you're one of our students looking at this and work off of it. But I'm going to give you a quick brief how I do it in the CAD system so you understand what we're doing here. So what you're seeing is just our Canvas page showing the explanation of how I want it named and stuff. You'll see the videos pop in down there as we get them going. So let's go over here to Inventor, and I've left a couple of our other ones, so let's make a new one. So yeah, we still got that default, so bear with me on that one. But we're going to do our next part. So one of those weird things is one of the ways you can think about making parts is this, just literally as if you are a machinist and you're given a block of aluminum or steel to work with. So if I take that approach to it, I'll start with a block like this, and I'll just literally make a block that is the size of the overall piece. So it's like 2 inches by 4 inches in this case. And I will go finish the sketch, and I will tell it to fit all. And I will tell this thing to extrude exactly 2 inches, which is the basic block I'm working off of. Now, from here, the next part, I end up having some shoulder up here and some cut in there. So I'm going to treat this just like I would if I was a machinist. I would hog away the majority of the material right off the bat. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go like this. I'm going to click on this surface right here and go start a sketch. And I'm going to pan this down. And I'm going to throw in, and I'm going to cut away a whole bunch of this stuff. Now I'm just going to throw a shape up there, a rectangle. And I know that the distance from here to here will be, in my case, about 3/4 of an inch. That's probably too much. Let's dial it back. I'm doing this proportional. I actually don't have any hard numbers here. So then this next one's going to go back just over 2 inches. So from there to there has got to be about 2.25 inches back. So with that done, I can hog out this much material. So I'm just going to go like that, and I'm going to say, okay, extrude, but do an extrude cut that's 2 inches long going that way. There, hogs it off. Now, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make the next shoulder cut here. So if I was doing this in a shop, I'd come back in here and I'd actually make this shoulder piece. I would actually probably make it as I can go on. But I'm going to go, okay, I'm going to hog off a chunk of it from right here to about right there. It's going to come down to about, we'll eyeball this right there. So a dimension here, I know this right here is going to be right about an inch across when I'm done. I know from this point right here to this point right here is going to be about 3/8 of an inch tall, and that's what I need. So I'm going to hog that off there, literally take it, like if I was going to do this in real life, I'd just cut it right off, cut it out like so. And then the last thing I need to do is cut out a chunk going this way and then put some holes in it. So let's start with the obvious. So I'm going to take this guy right here, and I'm going to start a sketch there, and I'm going to say, okay, well, I'm going to start right down here on this line, and I'm going to cut it out like so and leave myself about 1/2 inch right here. All right, and this is going to be about, not going to be quite halfway across, so we'll go 0.75 across that way. Finish the sketch again with my extrude and my cut, so that is going to be a cut. So I end up with this kind of shape going on. Now I know I've got a single hole up here and 2 down here in front. I'll do those right now. Now here's where it gets a little odd. There's 2 different ways to do holes. I'm going to do a hole instead of like I did on the other one where I just used the extrude cut. I'm going to use the hole tool here, so just so you can see how it works. So I'm going to start with a hole on this surface. I don't want this hole to go all the way through. I just want it to go part way down. So I'm going to pick a point, even with the center. So I'll get it constrained to the center, bring it back this way, just to kind of eyeball it in there. And it's going to be about from here to here. Let's go 0.75. So it's kind of, it's too far. 0.625. There's 5/8 in. And it's going to be sitting in the middle of this. So yeah, that's probably about right. 1 inch over. So now there he is. So I hit the finish sketch. I just set a point. Now if I use the hole tool, that's the only hole it can find. Now it's set right now to do a counter bore. I'm not going to have a counter bore. It's set to do a hole, but see, my hole's going the wrong direction. Let's try it the other direction. Now, if I look at it, my hole's going a given distance right here. See how it transitions? It has a distance right there. I can tell it to go through all, which is what I use most of the time, but look, it just cuts through everything. Or I can tell it to go to a face. Well, if I tell that, I can come down here and click on this face, and the hole will go straight to that face. It doesn't go past it, it stops at it. And now if I go in here and say, okay, I'm good, hit the okay right here. Now, I never dimensioned that hole. Oops. Well, let's go back here to my hole and edit the feature. If I go down here and see it defaulted to a 1/4 inch, I want that to be more like a 1/2 inch hole. There it is. Just change the dimension. Same thing you go on down here. I start a sketch on this surface. and I put the point in it, and I just come off the center right here, just line it up, get snapped to the center, come back this way, see the dotted lines, come back here, place one, dotted line, place the second one, and say, okay, dimension, well, let's see, I want this right here to be at least 5/8 of an inch back, and then 7/8 of an inch over, finish that, go a hole again, they're the only holes there, I actually probably have to pick them both. All right, so, okay, selected two, good. 1/2 inch, okay. Oh, I just want to go through all this time. Okay, we're good. So there it is. So that's it. That's as hard as it is. I can assign the materials if I want. No problems there. So I'll save that one, go on to the next one, which in this case is going to be one that's got a foreshortened surface on it. So I can go literally like this and start a sketch. And this time I'm going to actually sketch on my YZ plane, and you'll see why shortly. I'm literally going to go like this. I'm going to say I want a line that goes from here over this way, 2, straight up, 2, over, 1, down, straight down, 1, back over to my left, 1, and then back to my origin or where I started. Finish the sketch, do a zoom all, tell it to extrude this thing, and I'm going to tell it to go 2 directions, so I work this from the middle, and it's going to be 4 inches overall. Okay, there we go. Now I'd made the shape. I don't have to cut anything out this time. The only thing I have to do is put 2 holes in this and put an inclined plane on. So I'm going to start with the inclined plane. I'm just going to go like this. I'm going to make a line that goes from the corner right here, snap right to the corner, bring it up like this. I don't know what the angle is. I don't actually care. I just want to get it looking about right. So I'm going to just throw that in there like that, close the shape. When I tell it to extrude and do a cut, it only has to go 2 inches, not 4. Okay. Now, one thing to watch out for. If I don't have things snapped exactly right, I can end up with a little itty bitty hanger-oner when I do those cuts and things, which is impossible. I mean, I can have an infinitely thin piece of metal sticking up there. Watch out for those as you're doing this. And it does cause some difficulty. So I'm just going to come in here and slap in a couple of holes, one right here-ish, one straight down from that one right there-ish. Dimension, maybe this from here to here needs to be, say, 1/2 inch. This one should be 1/2 inch also. Don't know if it is. Nope. And then from here to here should be about, say, 1.25. And from here to here should be about, say, 0.75. So once I got those, finish the sketch. Use the hole tool again. 1/2 inch all the way through all. There he is. That part is done and ready to move on. We're going to do one more, and then we're going to leave the rest of it up to you. So, part, start a sketch, the surface. This one I'm going to do a couple of zigzags on, so I'm going to start with a, whoops, I did start a sketch, I'm already in a sketch. Edit sketch, you twit. All right, so I'm going to go right here, start at that origin, go out this way. Now this one's going to be about, say, 2.75 this way. You'll see why shortly. I'm going to come up, straight upward, say about 1/2 inch, straight back this way to about 2, straight up to about there we go. Just eyeballing some of this. So now that is a little thicker than I wanted it, but it'll be fine for right now. If I want to, I could actually increase this one right here. Not really going to right now. Actually, might as well, because that should be about the same one. So let's make that 2.25. That'll make my proportions about right all the way across.
William Edward.
Oh, we love working in the school.
William Edward.
Okay, I'm going to zoom this out. Do an extrude of that 2 inches across. And then come back here and say start a sketch. And I'm just going to eyeball this again, rectangle from the midpoint here somewhere. The top corner right there. Extrude, say 1. Okay. And then I need to do a hole up here, so I go like this, put a point in the center of this. Finish sketch. I'm just going to eyeball this. And then I groove down here on the bottom, so I'm going to start sketch here. Go rectangle. Okay, that's all it takes. I've got them all done, and you can finish up the rest. Thanks, bye.